Here we are at La Section, where we're filming the Reference Point podcast episode on The Boys. So welcome to the show. I'm joined by my two Deep State co-hosts, Anthony and Lou. And I'm joined by our boys,
Riqo, Miggy,
and we're talking about season 4
of The Boys.
Oh yeah. Let's start off. What do we think of this season?
Kind of disappointing more than anything, you know. This season felt very hollow up until the last 20 minutes when they're like, oh wait, we forgot to do the story, so maybe we should do the story right now. That would be a good idea to, like, you know, do a story for season 5. This season suffered from a lot of what the last season suffered from, of just, you're watching episodes, start to finish, nothing happens. Like, you watch one episode, and by the end of it, nobody's changed. It's very filler, very shock value. Oh, look at this. It's a penis. Ooh, look at that, guys. You've never seen that before.
It's kind of
We
funny.
have seen it before, inside and outside.
Don't want to know about the outside, but that's fine. But you guys, what did you guys think?
For me, I don't know, like I agree with you on certain points. I felt like it just was like, they tried to keep like, oh, this is the spirit of The Boys, but it didn't really have like no like continuation with like the previous seasons. Like it was like, oh, you know, Butcher's just an asshole and like he's battling with his health. But like it was like really at the very end where you see like him really, I don't know, like fighting with that, like whatever that thing is inside of him, you know?
Tapeworms.
Yeah, you know, so like they like hinted at it in the season, but they didn't really show it too much, right?
I personally really enjoyed it. I like the overarcher theme of forgiveness. They really gave us a lot of the hype in the last episode, or the last half of the episode. But I personally overall enjoyed it, but there was a bit of a dip in the middle.
Miggy, what about you?
Yo, honest, from season 1 to 3, it was super hype. I was getting excited. Now, yo, I couldn't wait for the season 4, and then they fucked me. They fucked me. Yo, came to the point where I couldn't even like commit to the show anymore as much, you know? I didn't really finish it all the way either. I had to get a quick recap, and I was like, yo, bro, are you for real? All these fillers, like they were saying, I just couldn't keep up with it.
It was always an event to watch The Boys. It was like, oh, yeah, we're about to see like blood, stuff like that. No, it's just not as exciting anymore.
I think of what's something that really played a big part of this was it was very tied in with current times, and it's very political, and it's tied around January 6th, the new president, where we have a new election coming around.
Yeah.
I think that's where it hit hard with a lot of people, or at least myself sometimes, where it was too real. It reminded me too much of what we were facing right now, and I watch shows to escape from this world, not live it in a new way of superheroes.
But here's the thing, I feel like all the seasons were very political more than anything. So that was never like a big problem for me, because they always tackled those subject matters and whatnot. To me, it's more like I'm watching an episode and it's like, yeah, they're gonna fight flying sheep in this one.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
that was.
Okay, that was an hour long. I could have watched something else.
And you tell me this rabbit can like eat a human's head off? Like you can't like bust through that wooden door? Like I don't think so, bro.
So, you wanna know an animal I wanna know the story about? I wanna know about the octopus love story with me.
Oh,
wanna
that's a
hear more
tragedy.
about
That's a
that,
tragedy, bro.
So I guess you want to tackle some spoilers now?
Yeah, let's dive right in. First things first. Hughie gets raped like 40 times in this season. What is up with that, guys?
Yeah, what's going on with The Boys? What's wrong with Hughie? Why do you hate Hughie so much? He's such a good guy.
Isn't that like that in the comics though, where he always gets like badly?
Yeah, he does.
But in this season, he literally gets like a couple times. Like, it's so weird. Like, why did they think this was a good direction for the character? And the worst part is, it's not even serious. The guy gets raped and they kind of just like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, they played off as a joke.
That tech night, the whole tech night and Ashley thing was like, I don't know if I was really down with that. Like, I was like watching it, and I'm like, this is not.
I'm watching. It's like it's shock value. It's doing nothing for the story. Why am I watching this?
Was that the episode that was like supposed to be the shock value episode? Like, you know, like
Kinda.
every season there's like one episode that they always say is like
Yeah.
the one that's gonna make you like, what the fuck? Like, was that it, or was it the one with the multiple man where he was just like,
Bro,
I think it was one or the other, but like they're just like, oh, now we're gonna one up it, so we're gonna do it twice this season.
bro, like I was saying, this added just more fillers.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
wanted to add more minutes to this.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, we didn't reach that 1 hour count yet. Let's add some more sex scenes.
And more rapes.
It's like, yeah, guys, this episode's only 40 minutes. Put 20 minutes on rape. It's fine. The people are gonna love it.
I think it's also because of like how his character is. It was like an easy, like they're not gonna make like Butcher do that.
Black Noir was a welcome addition to this season. He was so funny. I really liked what they did with that. I just didn't know he had powers until we actually showed them out. I'm like, what the f***? This guy actually has powers. I thought he was just an actor.
I think it was like they're mixing like a bit of like the storyline from the comics.
Yeah.
Because like spoiler alert again, if you didn't know, like Black Noir in the comics is just a clone of Homelander.
Yeah, exactly.
And he has like similar power, like obviously power set and everything. So I think they're trying to like kind of mix that in like with this Black Noir, because like he's gonna obviously have to do something like.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's more down to be like Vought's little puppet than like Homelander is.
And speaking of characters, how do you feel they handled Newman, Frenchie? Because they're two characters that kind of got some big changes from season 3 to here.
Newman was the one that upset me the most because they basically made her this overpowered girl who's like, she's bulletproof. They can't do anything. Poison gas, she can't do it. So what do they... Yeah, exactly. So what do? I guess she could just get ripped in half by tentacles and that's how she dies. They didn't even bother to find a weakness for her, which is the whole point of the season. What's her weakness? We're gonna find it out. Her weakness is getting ripped in half, I guess.
Like everybody else,
There
you know?
was no clever writing. They didn't even try with the idea. They just went for the easiest decision, which was this guy's gonna have tentacles and rip her in half because
Also,
it's
she
easy.
was like a flip-flopper, bro. She kept like, you know, like it was like how many times in one season are you gonna be like going for this side, like, you know, until it works out for you, and it never works out for you like that.
And then it's like, oh yeah, she's on the good side. Oh, she's gonna die right now because the guy doesn't want to listen to them.
Honestly, don't like Frenchie on season 4 at all. Bring back the buzz cut. First of all,
He's been like, innuendoed all the time like that. But he turned into such a like, I don't know. It's like he's like a dog that got his balls chopped off after. Like, he was like not the Frenchie from like the previous season. And it's like, okay, you're going through it. I killed his family. Suck it the up. Like you already did. You already did, Frenchie. You already did that shit.
The problem with that story is it kind of just like he's like, okay, he has a boyfriend now, whatever. And then you find out he killed his family, which I'm like, what the hell?
With no like connection to the story, right?
And then what happens? He kind of finds out, he turns himself in, and then we kind of just don't revisit it anymore. We kind of just gave up on it. It's like,
Yeah, he was okay after.
he never followed up on it. It's like,
Yeah, he's like, I did my time in the pen. I'm
you're there for 2
recuperated
weeks.
now, you know?
Dominic Mysterio was in the jail longer than he was. Like, but even Kimiko, her story, what was it? She confronts her past, and what does she do when she confronts it? Nothing.
Right?
It doesn't
And then-
go anywhere in the
And then
end.
she confronts it again this season.
But then, so now
And she
we're,
leaves it again.
it's like we pick up these stories and we just never pay them off, or we never do anything with it. So it's like, why are we doing? They're like filler stories that they're just like, we have to pad out the runtime. We got to make it to 8 episodes because the Amazon budget, we have it for 8. We can't do 6. We can't do 4.
Going to Lord of the Rings, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you were right. It's all filler.
I swear.
What do we think of Firecracker?
Oh,
I mean,
bro.
I thought she was kind of bad until, like, you know, she was a pedophile.
You mean like a baddie or?
Oh, you liked her?
Yeah, I was like,
No,
oh,
I
you know
didn't
what?
like her.
Southern Belle, but like kind of racist. You know, I could fix her. And then, no, she's like a pedo. No, then I don't with no more.
Honestly, she got when she was like all like coughing and shit from taking those milk jug of drugs.
Yeah.
I was like, you're disgusting. I felt exactly like Homelander. I was like, get the fuck away from me.
The second she said she was taking drugs that were enlarging her heart, I was saying that to myself. I'm like, yo.
Yeah,
And then while she's on TV, she's ordering a double whipped, like, frappuccino, mochaccino thing that she
Yeah.
gets at the end. I'm like, yo, you're killing yourself. Swell
Right?
fast. Not even slow.
Yeah, how come Homelander didn't say anything about that? He called A-Train fat when he was eating those, drinking those, bro. He didn't say nothing to her.
I feel like we're going to get more of her in the next season, and Starlight may have like a redemption.
She got her powers back.
Yeah. Over her.
That's another thing I have to bring up. Starlight's powers disappearing. What was up with that?
She got Spider-Man too.
You guys
They
understand
never
it?
explained it, right? It's just
Because
like,
she kind of just gets them when the world goes to shit. Like then she gets it back. Like basically, I thought it was because of the stress and stuff that she couldn't get her powers.
this is my cheesy interpretation of it.
Yeah.
So you know how she is running away from the Starlight character? She's like, oh, that's not me. That's not me. I hate the thing. Her not accepting that because like she is that, you know, and that's why her power. And then what happened when she started like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna start calling myself that. It started popping back off again. She gave Aquaman the that like that, you know, in his
Gills,
his gills and shit. She like lifted him up. She, you know, the moments where she like stood into her persona. For sure. Her powers kind of like came back, you know.
But the thing is, not even because she's choking herself out, the shapeshifter, and like she still doesn't have her powers.
I guess. I mean, like, isn't that part of her? Like, her strength is her power too. Like,
It was weird to me because like they didn't really like. They're just kind of like, oh yeah, she has erectile dysfunction in her hand. She can't really do the light anymore. But it's like, what's the point of this? Like, don't say Spider-Man no more because that was a much better movie. And in the end,
Spider-Man.
she
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, when Peter
Not-
Parker's
yeah.
like, he can't shoot his webs.
And his
you know?
that's where he gets his back problem from,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Exactly.
But then Starlight kind of just like, let's be real. What is she? How does she get her powers back? She just looks at her hands. Oh, look, they're back. What do you know? It's like that's how they chose to wrap up that story. They just needed it because she had to be nerfed for the story because she's too
Right.
strong.
Yeah,
But like, when is whatever. When has she ever really done anything? Every time she's about to, like, where she has her badass moment, she gets her ass beat. Every time. She doesn't stop nothing.
Yeah.
She has this moment where she looks tough, and then she gets mollywop.
What do you think of Sister Sage?
I kind of liked her. I was like, yo, you know what? This lady knows how to fuck shit up.
Devious. And I get the whole being so smart and like nobody listens. Like, you just like, why don't I just like everyone, like, you know, it's like that rapper that has like the smartest lyrics, but like nobody wants to listen to him, and they just dumb it down to like, you know, some like 3-sentence thing, right?
We're not talking about Drake, I know.
Whoa.
Whoa!
I don't know, whatever. I'm not that big Drake fan, anyways, but
You like good music. We get it, don't worry.
I personally thought it was going to go a whole different direction. I still think that Sister Sage has big plans for the future because of the notebook that we saw with, what's her name on the cover? Maeve. Wait, Queen Maeve. Because we saw, spoilers, someone alive at the end.
right. So she got to be alive.
Come on.
All damage doesn't.
And I just think Sister Sage has a bigger plan to take Homelander out of the picture because he's too much of a wild card.
Yeah.
He's too unpredictable, and she kind of planned for him to be unpredictable and push her out. So she's smart enough to think of so many different scenarios, and she's already said Phase 2, which is coming hopefully Season 5, maybe Gen V2, Season 2. Who knows?
President Homelander. Could it be that?
Maybe. Homelander, like the actor is so good at just doing like these subtle motions. Like even when like you guys saying Firecracker coughs, it's like he doesn't just look like goes down and up and looks where he's like, what the
Girls kind of fucking show these like this look of disgust on his
Or like when Newman points that thing out and he goes like, oh yeah, I totally knew about that.
Yeah, right? He does not know how to like bounce back when like anything important.
Or when he was fighting Ryan, when he flipped out, he had his little tantrum about Ryan's picture in his bag.
Oh yeah.
And he just goes nuts and he just yells, Ryan!
No, it's insane. Like the performances in the season are like the one thing that always carry the show because every performance is great. No matter
Homelander has like the top 10 crash outs. Like all 10 of them are Homelander crash outs.
Oh, 100%. But I'm saying, like, even Butcher from the beginning to end, like, just the Carl Urban who plays him did such a good job, I found, even with, like, at the end when he finally accepts that he has to be the bad guy. Because these soups are just horrible, and we need to get rid of these people.
Accepts it, or is it that, like Paris, I think, Carl Urban, not to be confused with Keith Urban, the country senior superstar?
No.
He
But
probably also has like a tapeworm or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. They eat a lot of pork in the South, so, you know, like...
I would think that it is him controlling a bit, but it's, like, the worst version of him. Because he didn't kill Starlight and Kimiko
Yeah.
in the moment, and he didn't kill Newman's daughter, which he
Yeah.
could have done easily, but he didn't. He just killed Newman and said, we're done with this.
I think the moment that really crushed him was when he saw Ryan smoke Grace.
Yeah.
And then like you see Ryan, like at first he feels like he feels kind of bad about. Then he has the Homelander look, right?
I'm
Where
just
he's just
accepting
like,
it.
balls to the wall, I'm out of here. But like, I feel like all those things, like his wife is a part of his personality. That Kessler guy's a part of his personality. But it's definitely like being like more manifested by whatever's inside of him. Like that thing. It's like, it controls whatever personality, I guess, that it likes.
It just f**ks with your brain more than anything, bro. Like,
and cancer, all the cancer inside.
I personally think it's a own being, because if you remember the rabbit that was still, it was the body itself was dead.
Yeah.
But the thing inside it was still alive.
Right? It was like.
So even if Butcher kind of dies.
Did he get it from the rabbit, or was that already?
No,
like,
that was already. It's like a tumor.
Yeah.
It was kind of
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor. No, it is a tumor.
It was foreshadowing thing because it was the exact same powers as the rabbit.
because the rabbit was injected with V, the temp V and the compound V. That's why it has the same thing.
Jackrabbit. Yeah.
Exactly.
What do you guys think? Do you think Ryan's gonna like become Homelander? Like, what do you think? Miggy?
No.
I think there's gonna be something that brings him back, but he's gonna have a little phase where he's like Homelander-ish.
He's gonna have an emo soup phase.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like he's already going through his like puberty soup phase. Like, I just don't know. Like, shut up, Ryan. No one wants to hear you talk no more right now, bro.
Yo, with his
your ass
voice
up.
cracking, bro, he was hitting that puberty.
But like, I mean, like honestly, every time I'm pissed off with certain things, it's usually because they're doing a good job, like acting or something.
Yeah.
So like, you know, puberty, Ryan, you're a bitch, but good job.
He's gonna get a redemption arc for sure. He's gonna go all the way down south and get that redemption arc.
Yeah.
100%. Because the show has to end on like a positive note, somewhat of like
Does
can
it
still
though?
exist.
Does
And
it
there's
have to
still
end
good ones.
positively?
I think it will.
You know what? You know, maybe not. You know, the show's so fucking down
Right?
and dreary. I think they're gonna go all the way.
I feel like people, like, you know, like every superhero thing is like there's gonna be a happy ending, right? But like, The Boys is not that superhero type
Not that
vibe,
type of
you
movie
know?
series.
Yeah. So you think it's gonna end with genocide?
I feel like, yeah, it could end. That's in the realm of possibilities.
Yeah. So I guess, you know, let's kind of wrap it up with our final thoughts here. So we'll start with Anthony.
Yeah, I thought the season overall was pretty disappointing, but you know, had its moments. Definitely not a horrible show. Definitely not a horrible season, but it was fine. You know, I wish it lived up to the season 1 and 2 standards, and that it had a more focused vision rather than all these filler episodes and shock value, edginess.
I think you have some good points. I'm willing to wait 2 more years for a last season and watch a Gen V season 2 and another Diabolical season 2. So bring back those, give us some in-between content, but make these guys happy and make it like season 1 and 2 of The Boys, so everyone ends on a good high.
For me, I liked it like towards the end this season. Also, I was kind of like a bit disappointed. Certain characters I kind of want to see more of. Like at first I hated A-Train, now I want to know, like I thought he was gonna die, bro, this season, bro. I want to see kind of like this new Black Noir character a bit more about like what's his whole thing, or did they just add him for like, you know, just to have another guy that could rip someone's head off, you know?
Personally, season 4, highly anticipated, low results. I wish it was better. It was even to the point where I didn't finish it. I'm not up to date.
We got the
Respectfully.
Cliff's Notes version.
Good enough.
But since you guys did say season 5 is finale, I am getting excited. I don't know if I can wait for 2 years. You know, like I need a redemption series right now. That's how I feel about it right now.
Personally, for me, I enjoyed it for the most part. I liked the out there stuff like the flying sheep and all that shit. I actually was really into it. Overall, like, you know, Miggy, you kind of said it right. It's like it was a lot of filler. It didn't have that momentum and that excitement that season 1 and 2 had, and that season 3 had in parts. Season 3 started losing me a bit. Season 4 lost me, and then the last 20 minutes of like the last episode was like, I was literally like, I was watching while I was working, and I had to stop working because I was like locked in.
Yeah. Honestly, bro, but one guy I want to see, because they hinted him at the end, I need that Soulja Boy mixtape right there, bro. I love every time he says something like out of pocket shit, like it's you know he's gonna say something, but when he says it, you're just like, if you're eating, it's like a moment where you spit out your food, you know? Like you're like
I was surprised, kind of like, yeah, we're gonna throw one last cameo in there. It's like a Marvel movie after credit scene. I'm like, of course they threw this in.
And I think, you know what, that's the show. If you like what you see here, let us know in the comments. Have the liberals ruined The Boys? I don't know. We'll see. Guys, what would you like to plug?
I'd like to plug our barbershop, Last Section Barbershop. Miggy and I are both barbers there. Also, Miggy is a DJ. You can catch him at Apartment 200.
Wednesday?
When?
Wednesdays, bro.
Every Wednesday night.
Better get your haircut here. I get my haircut here, and I love it.